marks the beginning of his career, Leonard Bernstein has set aside a portion of every year to share his knowledge and experience with young conductors and instrumentalists, with his many now famous assistants at the New York Philharmonic, with the young musicians at the Berkshire Music Festival at Tanglewood, and in these excerpts from 2 weeks of classes in the summer of 1982 with these young conductors at the Los Angeles Philharmonic Institute.
4 before I.
I do the same thing, yeah. And it's not so much the distance you cover. I can't even follow you. Tighten it. Great.
He doesn't put you on the spot in a negative way. He'll stop you and say, you know, give you something to do and say you have to be clear here, this, you missed this has to be done. But he does it in such a paternal, benevolent way. You get very excited about it.
But don't start too fast. Yeah. Because it's liebesglühend. So give it time to sing out, right?
Okay.
Like Schumann.
16? No.
Then you can go. See, then now boy.
This morning, I had a big session with Leonard Bernstein. He told me like ta-ran, ti-ron, ti-ra, right? But if I did just like this kind of motion, I mean, just beating the breath, ta-da, ti-ro, or ta-ra, ti-ro. Now I want to feel them. I have to feed them to taste what kind of taste I want. They have to find out. They can play note, and I give them life.
Let your fantasy go. Just imagine this extraordinary creature. A little bit. And now more. More. Nice. Hit it! Right.
It's like a forum, a very important meeting for young conductors. As you see, the conductors from all over the world, some my colleagues from Turkey, some from Austria, I'm from Russia.
I remembered my first rehearsal of it years ago with the Philharmonic, and how I had to rehearse everything of that. Oh, poor Leonard. So I wore a Russian shirt for you today.
Thank you.
That's why I wore a Cossack shirt.
How do you do?
I gave you 3.
Why don't you do it? Oh, look. Do this. What is it? 10?
Yeah.
Slowly. Slowing down. Ba, ba. You see, the ritardando means tom 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 tom. Getting slower, not being slow. You give him already 1, 2, and he'll not have any breath. There's no phrase.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Please stand.
Subito, everything's subito. I know you.
I decided to change some important points, my attitude to some certain points in this music. And first question of Maestro after my rehearsal today was, Leonard, what happened? What changed inside you? I was shocked with this question. You know, it was because it's really something that happened inside me. It's very subjective. It's really very important and very subjective. And he got it from the very, very beginning.
You know what, Carol? You got so much inside that must come out. And how am I going to get you to convey that, Laura? Has somebody been putting you in a harness, or were you overdoing, or was somebody?
I was overdoing it, and I'm
And
like
somebody's
a
been
pendulum
trying
now. Somebody's been trying to. Well, I think
Get out
about
of
what you're
harness.
telling me.
Because there's so much there, and the beats don't convey enough. It's as though you're thinking about yourself too much instead of the music, and letting your whatever part of your body is involved tell them, communicate. Okay. My curiosity is even magnified at this point, because I'm curious as to how you conceive these bar phrases. I mean, this is music that goes in 1, and this is almost as big a problem as the Brahms alla breve. When music goes in 1, as in the finale of Schumann's second, or the first movement of this piece that you're going to do, obviously the beats are bars. And there are upbeat bars and downbeat bars, and there are places where you want to land. It's like the first movement, in which you have the phenomenon of 3 upbeats, which the whole first movement is constructed on, and so is the scherzo, and so is the finale. Ta-ta-ta-tam, right? So it's ra-ta-ta-tam. Or don't you feel it that way?
Oh, I do. I
Oh, good. So, after the second fermata, ra-ta-ta-ta, ya-ta-ta-ta, ra-ta-ta-ta. Then the first movement is fulfilled and will be further fulfilled in the finale. You see what I mean?
Yes.
But see if you can convey that so that you get good forte horns, but they sound like an up bar. 3 upbeats. Ra-ta-ta-ta, ra-ta-ta-ta, which is what the piece is about. As in the beginning, the symphony was about ta-ta-ta-ta, not ta-ta-ta-ta, which we all heard as kids, right? You see what I mean? Let me show you what I mean. Huh? Now, ra-ta-ta-ta.
still somewhat new to him, and empathizes and offers suggestions in a way where they're always very positive, and yet not unnecessarily optimistic. He was very consistent in reminding people of what their responsibilities are up there.
After H,
Why don't you take it that the full what clatters on the roof with quick impatient hoof? I think it must be Santa Claus.
that's it.
Right. That's what we sang in school. I hate musical anecdotes more than worms, but that academic festival overture was my audition piece with Fritz Reiner when I was 20 years old, 21, whatever it is, and I was just fresh out of college, and I had never thought of being a conductor, and I was sent by Dimitri Mitropoulos, who said, you must be a conductor, go and audition for Fritz Reiner, who was taking pupils in Curtis. And I walked in scared. I didn't know scores. I didn't know anything. I'd never thought of being a conductor. He had this score open to the middle on the piano. And he said, do you think you play the piano? Yeah. Can you play this? I'll try. I was a pretty good sight reader. So I read it through. I had no idea what it was from the middle. And suddenly I found myself playing What Clatters on the Roof. And My Heart and Hand Salute You. And all those old tunes from grammar school. And I put suddenly together all kinds of memories of hearing a radio announcer saying, you know, those student songs and from the Radio City Music Hall of the Air on a Sunday afternoon program. All came at the right second, and I came to the triumphant ending, very grand and confident, and said to Fritz Reiner, it is the Academic Festival Overture, of course, in France. And I was accepted. So I love it. I love this piece.
Okay. Yes. 10 before the key change. Thank you, Julie. With the pickup.
He'll tell you so, which is a very, to me at least, it's a very strong and important part of teaching.
Then, little by little, so much.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks so much.
I'm trying.